for the channel. This is the last time, hopefully. You read the title right. Today we are shamelessly jumping on the bandwagon that is the Backyardigans and drawing them as human characters. So let's get into it.
Yeah, get into it!
So the first one that we're doing is Tasha. She was one of my favorite characters when I was younger. I was split between her and Umiqua, but she was my favorite character because she was very girly and also kind of bossy. Like, she wasn't an antagonist, but whenever there was an episode where there was gonna be someone who was telling somebody what to do or being in an authority role like a queen or something, it was definitely going to be played by Tasha. And she wasn't like a bully, but I put her in this sort of anime girl judging you sort of pose, if you know what I'm talking about, because there was this one episode called Key to the Nile, and the whole concept of the episode was that she was this bossy little queen who didn't say please and thank you, and she often sort of played roles like that. I think it's so funny that the Backyardigans is trending because my little sister still watches the Backyardigans, so for people to suddenly be singing these songs that I've been hearing for a long time is just kind of funny to me. As you can see, I made her adult version of herself. I don't really know how to draw kids. I'm sure it wouldn't be that hard, but it's just more enjoyable for me and easier for me to draw young adults / adult type characters. So that's what I decided to go with. It's kind of nice to see actually the Backyardigans getting good recognition because it is a really good kids show. I gave her all this fluffy hair because
she's biracial,
and that part was also really fun to draw. If you look at the Backyardigans and the songs in it and even the dances that they have these little characters doing, they're it's solid children's entertainment. First off, that was really good 3D rendering for the time, and also the backyard, their actual bodies, you can see in my reference, are these round sort of short-armed characters, and they have them doing full dances. I don't even know how they were able to do that, because these are little cartoon characters with stubby little arms, and they somehow still made it work. You might notice between recordings I changed Tasha's face because she looks too mean. Like I said, she was sort of a bossy character, but she was still friends with everybody else. That was the important bit. And it also just wasn't the facial expression I was going for. This is much closer to the slightly judging you anime girl looking down on you face that I was going for. The head tilt was particularly difficult for me, as was the shadows underneath her eyes. It doesn't seem like it, but just moving the head up a tiny bit can really change the way that you're supposed to draw it. I also flipped the canvas a couple of times, off camera of course, but just to make sure that everything was balanced. So she is pretty much finished up. Here is Tasha, and we're gonna move on to Pablo. So, Pablo. People who have been watching my channel for a while might remember that I've said before that I don't draw guys as often as I should, and I'm not the best at their anatomy, and that's kind of what happened here. I have this issue where I will be trying to draw a male character and I want to make them masculine, but because I draw girls so much, they'll end up looking very feminine, which is fine. It's not the intent that I had for the character, but as I'm developing in my art style, it's fine if it doesn't always come out the way that I wanted it to. So for Pablo, he has that sound that's trending, the international super spy sound. So that combined with him being a penguin, I wanted to make him look very suave and dapper. He's also very round, so I wanted to put a lot of round things in his shape language. But anytime I did that, it made him look really dorky. And he was obviously supposed to be super cool and suave, so that kind of didn't work. I tried giving him a bowl haircut and round glasses in the sketch, but he just looked really nerdy. So in the International Super Spy episode, he has this juice box that I'm pretty sure is a stand-in for alcohol, because he always shakes it up in this little silver tall cup, the thing that you shake alcohol up in, and he says shaken, never stirred, and his whole mission is to spoiler alert, is to collect all these components to make chalky milk. So I really wanted, combined with the fact that he's already super dapper and it's the sound that's trending, I wanted to make him a super spy. So another thing that I did was gave him one of those shirts, you know, that kids wear, that's like a t-shirt and it has the print of a tux on it. That just seemed to suit him for both the spy thing and the fact that he was like a penguin, and penguins are dapper. So I gave him that. I also tried to make him look Asian, or like sort of Asian, like Asian coded, but it just really didn't come across for some reason. Maybe it's the fact that like the hair, you can't really see all the details in it, or maybe it's the eyes, I don't know, but for some reason, like, I tried to do the eyes and I tried to make him look Asian, but instead he just looks like a girl. I'm sorry, Asian community, I tried. I think it's especially after I did the shadows on the face and I defined the lip, he was really starting to look androgynous, or even a bit just straight up like a girl, which again, that's fine. The characters aren't always going to come out the way I wanted them to, but there he is, and we're gonna move on to the last one. So lastly, we have Umiqua, and this was my other favorite when I was a kid because she was pink, and pink was my favorite color, and she was also the other female character. And I remember being younger, like noticing like she wasn't like as girly as like Tasha. She was much more like tomboyish sort of. I think she was one of the original Backyardigans, like Tasha and Austin got added later. So to me, she was more like you know, like the way that kids are, not afraid to get dirty. She didn't let like the other characters push her around sort of, and she was like a proactive character. She's a very positive character for little kids, I guess. But I wanted to capture that sort of like tomboyish, like high energy sort of vibe, while still making her feminine because she is a girl, and I didn't want a reverse Pablo situation where Pablo looked like a girl and Umiqua looked like a dude, because that's not the characters that I'm trying to draw. So I thought like giving her this little wink would be like kind of cheeky, and especially like the piercings. She wasn't like a risk taker or anything, but like it just kind of added to like sort of like the cool girl vibe. I wasn't sure how I wanted to emulate the antennas on her head. I thought it would be a cop out to just put them on her hat, so I gave her like these curly little tendrils coming out of her hat. It doesn't make a ton of sense, especially since the hair is a bit of a different texture than the rest of her hair, but we're not gonna look into it that deeply. I think it would just be something that like she would do as like a human character, because Umiqua was sort of like a, I don't know, like a free thinker character sort of. She did what she wanted, and I think she would like pull those little strands out of her hat and nobody would tell her any differently. I also really liked doing her overalls. It was interesting to me because I am usually like a character designer, but with these characters already designed, like I already had clothes that I was going to put them in. Basically the only one who didn't have clothes was Pablo. So it was interesting to me to have to follow that design sort of, and I like it. I don't think I would normally put my character in something like this, and it really suits the way that I was trying to portray her character. You might also notice that just like with Tasha, I changed her face in between my recordings. I changed her smile just because when I flipped the canvas, it looked really, really awkward. So I thought it might be cuter instead to like have her sticking her tongue out. This face angle is another one that's kind of difficult for me, but I don't regret it. I might look back on this video later and be like, oof, the heads don't turn that way, but like that's fine because I'm still actually pretty proud of it. And again, like I just really like doing like the spots on her overalls and stuff like that. I liked making her a tomboy, but obviously like she's the pink one, so like she's really, it's like really feminine, but not necessarily like overly feminine, and I just really liked that in her character. And y'all, Umiqua was black. You can't tell me the difference. Listen, her name was Umiqua. Go listen to her voice actor. Umiqua was black. She was coded, and y'all can't tell me any different. So there she is. And now let's look at them all together. So ta-da! Here are all of our characters all together. I know I didn't draw all of the Backyardigans, but if you want to see me draw the rest of them, comment down below and maybe we'll make it the next video. This was so fun to do. It's very nice to revisit an old show you watched as a kid and use it to inspire your future art. It just kind of feels like it has gone full circle. If you don't follow me on my social medias, you totally should. I'm on Instagram at __Lockett, and I'm on Twitter at LockettYT. Thank you so much for watching. I love posting. And oh, right, I forgot. Tell me what you think about the new sprite in the comment section as well. And until next time, Lockout.
Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. Ugh.